Good evening and welcome to the news at 10. His Majesty the King held talks with British Prime Minister Theresa May, currently visiting Jordan, on bilateral ties and the latest developments regionally and internationally. Talks also dealt with the efforts to inject a new life into the peace process between the Palestinians and Israelis based on the two-state solution. Fight against terrorism was on the meeting agendas as His Majesty and May stressed the need to fight this phenomenon within a holistic approach. On Syria, the two sides stressed the need to build on the Astana talks to reach a political solution based on the Geneva track. On Iraq, the achievements made by the Iraqi government in the fight against terrorism, as well as the victories which were achieved by the Iraqi army, were figured high during the talks. May commended Jordan's role under the leadership of His Majesty in dealing with crises in the Middle East region, as well as bringing about peace and security in the region.
Truly, I think on behalf of all of us, we're delighted to have you here, and it's not lost on any of us that this is your second trip to Jordan this year, and we're very, very grateful for your kind attention. And I can't but thank you and all the different agencies for the level of coordination. We just had the interagency one last week. We had members from your office. And it prepared me for the States because we are now agreeable to be able to talk to you. So truly, I welcome you back here.
Well, thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here, as you say, for the second time this year, and to have the opportunity to talk about how we're going to take that relationship further. Because, as you say, we've had very good, long-standing historical relationship between the UK and Jordan, very good security relationship. We want to continue that, but also move that into a long-term relationship on the economy and economic development, and very much support your Vision 2025 and helping to take that forward.
And then specifically from, I think you saw the Prime Minister this morning, the ability for you to strengthen our resilience in the economy is going to be critical, and we're very, very grateful for that. And all the other things that you're trying to do to improve the challenges that we're facing in this part of the world.
Yes, well, there are many challenges, but as you say, in improving the resilience of the economy here, we see jobs and education being an important part of that.
And again, on the regional political issues, again, we're working on the same page. And I think that's, as has always been the case, and I think that's tremendous.
Prime Minister Hani Molki received the visiting Prime Minister and discussed with her ways to cement bilateral cooperation in various fields. Al-Molki commended the British support to Jordan, namely in economic, military and political fields. He said the British government has a key role in enhancing Jordan's economic resilience through offering technical and vocational training for Jordanian youth. The latest developments in the Middle East region, fighting terrorism within a holistic approach, were on the meeting agendas of Molki and May. For her part, May stressed that her visit to Jordan, the second in about 7 months, comes to build on the advanced ties between the two countries, expressing her country's readiness to provide the necessary support to Jordan at various economic, developmental and educational levels. Later, in the presence of the Prime Minister and British Prime Minister Theresa May, Minister of Planning Ahmed Fakhoury and British Ambassador to Jordan Edward Ogden signed a memorandum of understanding where Britain will provide Jordan with £94.5 million to support Jordan's economy and the education sector. Fakhoury said the memorandum came to establish a strategic partnership between the two countries and as part of a future aid by the United Kingdom to Jordan for the next 10 years. At the press conference held at the Jordan Museum, Minister of Planning Ahmed Fakhoury said that Prime Minister's visit to Jordan is evidence of Britain's strong commitment to strategic and historical relations. He stressed the similar views that both countries share, pointing to regional and international issues, common values, responsibility, openness and moderation, as well as efforts to promote peace, security and stability, combating extremism and terrorism. For her part, Prime Minister May hailed His Majesty the King's efforts in fighting terrorism, stressing the UK's readiness to support Jordan in confronting the security challenges and help the kingdom achieve economic prosperity. The British Prime Minister commended His Majesty's vision for 2025 that aims at enhancing self-reliance and competitiveness to meet the aspirations for generations to come, pointing to the investment opportunities that Jordan provide that would make it a focal point in the region for trade, services and investments. The UN humanitarian advisor for Syria called on world powers to help arrange the evacuation of 500 people, including 167 children, from the besieged Damascus suburb of eastern Ghouta. Dozens of mortar bombs landed on Ghouta yesterday, the last major rebel stronghold near Damascus, a war monitor said, despite a 48-hour truce proposed by Russia to coincide with the start of peace talks. In Geneva, representatives of Syria's warring sides sat just meters apart in separate rooms at the UN peace talks, but mediator Stefan de Mistura stopped short of bringing them together in what diplomats had hoped might be a minor breakthrough. Although the two delegations were in the UN building concurrently, de Mistura kept them apart, dashing between their respective meeting rooms on either side of a corridor in what he presented to the opposition delegation as close proximity parallel meetings. An Israeli sutler shot and killed a Palestinian man in the occupied West Bank in what the Israeli army said was a response to an attack by Palestinians throwing rocks, which Palestinians denied. On the other hand, Israeli tanks and aircraft struck positions in the Gaza Strip soon after Palestinians fired mortar shells at an Israeli military post. A witness in Gaza said he saw smoke rising from at least 2 targets. No casualties were reported initially on either sides. The Committee on the Pricing of Oil Derivatives issued a statement amending the prices of fuel as of tomorrow. According to the statement, the committee decided to raise the price of gasoline octane 90 to 720 fils per litre and raise gasoline octane 95 to 945 fils per litre. The committee also decided in a statement to raise the price of diesel and kerosene to 540 fils per litre. The price of the domestic gas cylinder was kept at 7 dinars, although the world price rose to 9.926 dinars per cylinder. And finally, the weather forecast: a cold night in Amman, in the hilly areas and the Badia, with a low of 9 degrees Celsius tonight. Tomorrow, a slight rise in temperature is in the forecast, with a high of 19 degrees in Amman, with partly cloudy skies. The Gulf of Aqaba should expect a relatively cold night and a moderate day tomorrow, with a high of 24 degrees, northwesterly light to brisk winds and slightly choppy seas. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news. I'm Leo Balkar. Have a lovely weekend.